People are probably gonna freak out once they see us. So
Like,
yeah,
hey, we love
we'll
you.
get Scott on the second half. We'll figure it out. He's already in here. You're muted though, I'm sure, and it's going live
Yeah, I'm muted on the
on
Twitch
the
feed.
thing. Okay. Yeah, we can get started. I'm gonna put a quick little timer on here, so it's 8:08. Oh, okay, okay. So everyone should see us. Hi guys.
Hello.
Okay, we're gonna get started. Sorry, we had a troubleshoot. Damn techie stuff in the way. But I'm ready to go, Ivy. Are you ready to go?
I am ready.
Okay. Um, Everyone who's here, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna get this show started. This is Ivy's first introductory as new host to the Gamer Girls Gone Wild podcast. She's freaking out. Look at her. I'm freaking out. I'm so excited. Ah! Okay, so we're gonna get started. Ivy, you count me in? I might totally botch it the first time, but hold on,
You
let me.
got it. 5.
Oh wait, hold on. Just make sure. Okay. All right, okay, go. Ah!
5, 4, 3.
Hey everyone, it's Baby Pancakes, and welcome to another episode of Gamer Girls Gone Wild podcast with me, my superhero. Well, I almost called you villain, but you are a villain. You have been a villain. So, superhero slash villain, Ivy Doomkitty, everybody.
How you doing?
Hi, what do you... Wait, this is really weird because you're on television and you're doing a podcast. You're everywhere.
It's like the Twilight Zone. I don't know how this is all happening all at once.
It's because you're on camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1,
Okay.
camera 2.
Okay. Okay. I think
Oh my gosh, we are a bunch of goobers, and this is kind of crazy because this is your first introductory as a Gamer Girl Gone Wild podcast host. Not guest host, but
we've gone
host.
wild.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are official. Sold your soul to the devil.
Yes, to Satan himself, and then I killed him, and I became the new Satan.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Okay, so you're on like this Philly high. How many cheese steak sandwiches did you eat?
Actually, just 2. I had just 2. The first or was it the first night? No, the second day we went to this reading terminal that had these pretty good cheesesteaks. They were good. But last year when I went to Philly, a bunch of people recommended Geno's. So I went to Geno's, and a lot of people were upset, and they were like, "Hey, that's where all of the tourists go. You want to go where the
The locals.
people, the locals from Philly go. This is where you need to go." And they recommended Tony Luke's. So it took
Ooh.
about 10, 15-minute cab ride to Tony Luke's, and oh my goodness, it was greasy, heavenly goodness, totally worth it. This
Nom.
thing of delicious gooiness. It was good. It was
Wait, how like did they serve it like in 2 sandwiches or it's like one giant one?
It was one big ass sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah, that thing was a little piece of heaven. And I got also cheese fries and
Okay.
what else. And the funny thing is, there's a ton of like raw oyster bars.
Oh my god, you and oysters, you're freaking addicted.
Yeah, I
You have
don't know.
problems with the oysters.
Seriously, it's literally been over the last, what, uh, 3, 4, 5 months that I've been on this insane oyster kick. And anytime I'm near a place that has fresh oysters, I go insane. And my plan was eat the Philly cheesesteak and then go to an oyster bar 2 hours later. Yeah, no. I quickly realized that was going to be a very bad idea, and I would be full of a great many regrets. So no oyster bar that night.
Oh my
But I
goodness.
did get oysters 2 other evenings there, which were absolutely phenomenal.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good stuff. I had really, really good food. I tend to find all of the, like, I'm a foodie, so I'll look up different places to eat and whatnot that are insane or crazy or what have you. So it was pretty kick-ass.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, you went to Philly. How was the event?
Uh,
You
it
had like a couple of
was
panels too.
hmm?
You had a couple of panels, right?
Let's see, I had a Men of Cosplay panel. I had like a Cosplay 101 and the body image one, the So They Say You Shouldn't
I
Cosplay.
love that.
And it was, all three of them did really, really well. We had an excellent turnout. I heard some really great stories from the girls that I had in the So They Say You Shouldn't Cosplay panel. Stella Chu, Jay Justice, and who was the other one? Jay Justice and I'm drawing a blank. Let's see. I'm trying to think of the flyer. Jay, Stella, myself, and Sony Erilyn. They were just all phenomenal. We all meshed beautifully together on there. And afterward, there was a ton of people that came up to the booth saying, you know what, thank you for the information. Make me feel more comfortable that I can cosplay, and I feel like it's not limited to this person or that person, and I can do it. And when you have somebody tell you that, it's really, it's definitely humbling. And then at the same time, you feel like, you know what, this is awesome, and I was able to get somebody to be able to do something they've been wanting to do and help them push past that hurdle that they had in front of them. And at least for me, it's just one of those things that I just, there was no one in the community that really stood up for that when I started. And I felt that the community was seriously lacking that. So I figured with the experiences that I had, why not share those and include other men and women in the community that can also share their experiences, and hopefully through learning and listening about those experiences, others can see, you know what, I'm not alone. Other people have gone through this and they've been able to overcome it. And if they were able to overcome it, then so can I. It is definitely meant to be upbuilding and encouraging for everybody.
Ah, well, the con was what, Thursday through Sunday, right?
Yes.
So you've had a few days. Like, how big is it? Because do they have like a big gaming section, also like a big like artist alley? Like, what's it like?
The way it was set up was there was the it was all on one floor. So you've got all of the vendors, T-shirts and comic book vendors. Then off to this side over here were all of Artist Alley. All the way up here was all of the celebrity guests. And then right before Artist Alley was Cosplay Row, where all of the cosplayers were set up.
Ah.
I had the first booth at Cosplay Row. Then Sony was next to me, and Ruby Renesco was there. We had Brian Terranova, who is this really, really awesome, very awesome cosplayer, 10th Doctor, David Tennant. He looks a lot like him.
Oh,
and they set up his TARDIS, like right diagonal from me. So I'm like, just, oh,
aw, cute.
And then they took it away.
What?
Yeah, I was very upset.
Who does that?
The thing is, he had such insane lines that they felt that it was really congesting the aisleway. So they moved him over to where Matt Smith's setup was at, which actually worked out better for him. But I told him, I'm like, they took you and the TARDIS away, hon.
Why?
Yeah, the thing is, last year when I met him, I completely fangirled because, like, I kept looking at him like, oh my god, it looks just like David Tennant. He looks so much like David Tennant.
Right.
So I just, it was funny. I'll post the photos from last year. They're pretty goofy.
Yeah, you should. You should. And then you also are on Heroes of Cosplay tonight. I haven't watched it yet, so no spoilers because
that was an impersonator. It wasn't me.
It was an impersonator? There's a double out there of you?
Yes.
Shut up.
Yeah. See, I spend my time at home sleeping, all day, all night, just playing video games and watching movies. And my my twin, my duplicate, goes out there and runs around at the cons for me while I can be the lazy ass and be at home and just not do anything.
Lazy. That person's doing all your cosplay work, all the grunt work.
So yeah, that's how I'm all over the place. No, I lie. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. The Heroes episode this evening, I believe, is a two-parter. So you'll see the first half of the content, it's a two-parter. So you'll see, one contest this evening. You'll see another one from New Orleans next evening. Of which
Nice.
I should be on next week's as well.
Okay.
I don't assume to be on it because I don't know if they've edited stuff out of it or not.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It's TV. They're gonna edit. That's just what they do.
Yeah, so I don't presume to say I'm definitely on it when all of the parts I'm in it could be gone bye-bye.
That's true. That's how reality TV works. They pick and choose what they want. But not here!
Not No.
But before we, get to the nitty-gritty, I know you have not only that, but you're taking these few days to work on some serious cosplay work, I'm assuming. Are you going like delusional? Because I just looked at the calendar and AX is like days away.
Well,
I'm kind of panicking a little. I'm not gonna lie. I have to make a tail and ears, and I haven't started.
well, in all honesty, I have not started the costume yet. I went straight from the landing to hanging out at one of my friend's houses for a couple of days, and have yet to begin my work.
Ah.
Random hand.
Random.
Random hand is random.
Well, we have a lot of people that are just coming in the room. So, hi everyone. We're very happy to be here, and this is kind of like the behind the scenes of the podcast, but it's live. But you'll be able to listen to it later once it's all cleaned up and pretty packaged for you. Yeah, and we also have a guest. We have Patrick Scott Peterson, the original PSP, also known as Scott. He'll be joining us for the second match. He's actually in here in the live room, so if you want to say hi to him, you can. He's totally just watching you all, making sure you're all in your best behavior, because then when we bring him on, it's going to be a little crazy. We're going to definitely nerd out on video game galore.
I'm telling you guys, Creeper.
Patterson, sorry. It's because I'm reading too many things. You should see my screen right now. If I showed you my screen, you guys would be like, this is too much info for my eyeballs. So yeah, sorry, botched your name, Patterson. I need to work on that. I don't know what is going on. I could not get it together with any of my videos for E3. Everyone had a really thick Polish accent or the longest name ever. I could not get anyone's name to save my life. I don't know. I had to do one or two takes with that. And some I didn't even have time to make any takes. It was just one, that's it. Once there. So, but yeah, so Ivy's done with Philly.
Yes.
Then we have AX coming, right?
We have AX, yes. That one should be fun. But it'll be my first anime convention, so I am very much excited for it.
Ooh, I'm excited too.
It'll be fun. I think it'll be fun, and you'll be there too. So I mean,
yes.
Oh, you'll be there too.
Everyone's gonna be there. My Six On Clothing, my sponsor, will be there. They will be selling. Actually, they have the Sailor Moon hoodies. I've put them up there.
Really?
Yeah, but there's gonna be a Sailor Moon Day at AX.
Dude.
So I'm gonna have my hoodie on. I'll probably get you one, Ivy, if you want to wear it. And anyone,
Yes.
Go to their booth. I don't know what booth number they are yet, but as soon as I find out, I will let you guys know, because I'm pretty sure they'll sell out. They sold out at Fanime when they had their hoodies out there. They sold them all really quickly. So I want you guys to have one. We'll all be twinsies, and we'll all be different sailors. It'll be awesome.
I say let's do this. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So we got AX, and then we got San Diego Comic-Con creeping very slowly.
I do have one more though.
Oh yeah, you have. Oh shit! One of the biggest ones.
Right after the weekend after AX, I will be flying my happy ass to London.
Your ass gets to go to London, dude. London! You get to go to London! Holy shit.
I'm freaking excited for that one.
Dreams do come true, everybody.
It's gonna be a long ass flight though, but it'll be great. It'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I'm very much excited for it. Like, I'll take all the pictures.
Dude, I think
and all the food. Afternoon tea, scones. Yeah.
Yes, fish and chips. Could be eating all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what you're saying, Ivy. You went robot on me. Uh-oh. Did we lose Ivy? Is she frozen for you guys?
Yes.
Oh, there she is. You're back.
Really?
Yeah, you were frozen for like 5 seconds, but it was when you were making the face of me eating all the food.
That's gonna be creepy as hell.
It's real. I don't know what it is, but it just was like you were just talking about all the food, and it just froze. You killed it. Yeah, no, it's just finally you get to see London.
Yes. I think it'll be fun. I really want to do something new for that show.
Okay.
The question is, can I? Because I've got AX, I've got London, and then 2 weeks later I've got San Diego Comic-Con, Wizard World San Antonio, and Boston Comic-Con all back to back.
That sounds crazy, dude. I can't even just think about what it's like, your brain. Uh-oh. I lost you, Ivy. We lost Ivy. I'm bringing her back. This is what happens sometimes in shows. And let me bring her back on. Ivy! Well, I'm gonna keep going until she's back. She killed it with all the food talk. There you are.
Hello?
Hi!
Hey,
You're back. I don't know, you started talking about food and you killed the internet. I'll have to edit everything out later. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It happens. Yeah, no, just it's probably your connection plus I don't know where you are. You're not at home.
No, I am at a remote location that I cannot disclose.
Secret location. Ha. Ha. Okay, well, London is happening soon, and then you have a couple of shows. I have, after Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, I have a little bit of a hiatus until Gamescom in Germany. So I will be in Germany in August, and we'll figure out how we're going to do the show from Germany, and then while you're in London, well, you'll be in London for the weekend, so I'll get you back.
Dude, did you read that comment? Thank you, nerds with passports. Your show wasn't ready for London.
Dude, it was not. She killed it. Yeah, so we're going to be doing a lot of traveling, Ivy. How we're all going to do this and put this all together, I have no idea. But we will. We'll figure it out.
And at least if we're out there over the weekend, the time change really isn't going to be that horribly bad.
No.
Right? Yeah, no, it's not that bad.
No. No, we'll figure it out. It's either me early in the morning or one of us, like, I don't know. Because the only time we'll ever have to do the show that way is when I'm in Germany. And that will be the first day of, like, the press day. And I'll figure it out. I might either come on the next day early morning and we'll do a show and then just have it, you know, recorded or whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We're smart girls, man. We figured this shit out. We can figure everything else out.
I think so.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so
It'll be fun.
It'll be proper. It'll be proper. So I think, is there anything else that you want to talk about before we bring Scott on? Scott.
Ooh. I think we covered all of the upcoming cons so far.
Yes.
And what we did.
Is there anything that you want to say to anybody about, you know, what you are going through, or if anyone has been messaging you? I know people message you all the time, and it's hard for you to get to everybody.
Through so much stress, I don't know what to do. I'm going insane, guys. No, not really. No, I am. I've been having a total blast hanging out with you guys and meeting you guys at cons, and yeah, I love you guys so very much. And yes, I can't wait to meet you guys at all of the other shows I'll be doing. And seriously, one thing I do get, and this is one thing I try to bring up every now and then, is a lot of you guys will message me after a show, and this is a gripe. A lot of you guys message me after a show telling me that you came by the booth or walked right past it and were too afraid to come up. And then after the show, send me a message and say that you wish you would have gone up after all. Guys, I promise I don't fight. Okay, sometimes.
In a good way.
But in a good way. No, I honestly, don't feel afraid or intimidated. You know, I'm there for you guys. I'm there to talk to you guys and, you know, meet you guys and thank you guys in person. And for me, it's all about the fan experience and that interaction between the two. So next time you see me at a show or anywhere for that matter, just come up and say hi, you know, and I promise you won't be scared. And yes, I'll give you a hug. How's that?
Oh my God, you need an Ivy hug. It could solve, like, world hunger. Like, our energy crisis, gone. We just need to figure out how to, like, get the energy force that's, like, in between that hug, and all things will be solved in life.
All forevermore.
That is amazing. I think you are definitely the ambassador of all the cons of the world. Uh-oh. Ivy's, like, getting smashed today. Oh, wait. Did we lose her? Oh, we did. We'll try again. I'm gonna just leave it there. Let's see what happens. Ivy, where'd you go? You guys... Ivy...
Skype. We love Skype.
You're killing the internet. Stop it.
We love Skype, right?
Yeah, we do fucking love Skype. God damn you, Skype. Alright, so I think we're ready to go to commercial. Commercial! Yeah, so does anybody have any questions? Because you might have, like, one chance to ask it before we go.
I love this Nerds with Passports.
Oh my God, Nerds with Passports, they're my favorite. You guys need to go and click on them and follow them and like them. They are amazing. They're a duo of awesome gamer news and video game knowledge nonsense that feeds my soul. So go like them.
Oh God, okay, looking at this feed on Twitch right now, like I see that my whatchamacallit disconnected. So yeah, it does show me wearing the big old Valkyrie thing with the
Yes. I love that photo of you. You know I do.
That is too awesome. I love
that.
What's your favorite current game? Ooh,
what
is your favorite current game?
Currently, I'm still kind of on Kirby, on my DS, and then I started playing Watch Dogs a little bit today. That kind of, like, got me a little bit fired up, but I really want to play Valiant Hearts. I'm super jealous of everyone who's already played it. I'm super jealous of everyone who's already written about it because they got to play it. And I'm really jealous because I just want to fucking play it. It's about this beautiful, poetic, like, war scene scenario, and there's a dog in it, and it's just beautiful. It's, like, completely illustrated art. that is based off a war story. So it's very heartfelt, and I'm a complete sucker for something like that. I definitely been jonesing for some Destiny because the beta's gone, and that kind of sucks. And yeah, so I'm gonna be doing the beta for Hardline probably in the next few days, hitting it pretty hard, and my dogs are barking, sorry. And yeah, and that's about it. So
let's see. For me, that's a really good question. Oh, well, okay, the last game I played, I've been on the Star Wars Battlefront kick.
I know, you played that. You told me the other day.
Yeah, so it's been Battlefront again, The Last of Us, still working on that one. And AC2, I popped that one back in. So
oh my god, I totally forgot. It's Ezio's birthday today.
Holy crap, is it?
Yes!
Oh my, Ezio,
oh my god, Ezio, I love you.
I do.
No! Bitch, I love him more, okay? We'll fight for him.
Let's get this straight.
That's probably...
I own that deliciousness.
I don't know. That Italian man is so much deliciousness that I need him. I need him on a daily. And today's his birthday. I want him to jump out of the cake.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. If he was, I'd be in a hell of a lot of trouble. I'm just going to say that.
You just spawn a bunch of Italian Doom babies.
Okay. Anytime we do a costume contest, like, you know, if I do one with JDF, Smoke, and myself.
Yeah.
Smoke will not say Ezio's name if someone is cosplaying as Ezio. And he will leave the mic to me to say it. And he's like, I'm not going to butcher this name. He's like, Ivy, do you want to announce it? And I'm like, yes, please. And, you know, the cosplayer walks up on stage, and, you know, he's an Ezio cosplayer. And I will pronounce it because no one ever pronounces it properly, and it irritates me.
Well,
So
just
he's
do
like,
it then.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm like, it's Ezio Auditore da Firenze. And I'm like, my God.
Ah! Oh my god, I love him.
Fangirl over him and Wesker from Resident Evil. Are, yeah, my huge, like, mega gaming crushes that if we're real, I'd get in a lot of trouble.
Really? I just have always had a thing.
It's interesting because I tend to find a lot of male Ezio, well, like Ezio cosplayers will come to the booth and will take a lot of pictures. I'm like, hey, maybe they're trying to get me here.
Maybe there's a little bit more to this plot than just an assassin hanging out by my booth.
I think so. And the same thing with Magneto cosplayers and Batman cosplayers, because for comics, that's my thing. Magneto and Batman are like it for me.
Magneto is so hot.
Huh?
Magneto is really hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Weird thing. I've always been attracted to both young Magneto and older Magneto, which is very, very odd. I don't know.
No, it's not. It makes sense because they're both really sexy for two different reasons.
Yeah, it's not so much physical as much as mentally. Like, I'm attracted to their mind and how they work and how they think and how they act and carry themselves. And Magneto's just very misunderstood. And I understand him, poor guy. You know, he just wants to kill humankind. And
imagine what Magneto's sex would be like.
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop because it's getting too wild. But anyways, happy birthday, Ezio. I fucking love you. I fucking love you. Have my babies. All of them. Yeah, no, we love Ezio. And it was Sonic's birthday the other day, which made me feel really old. Yeah, it made me feel really old. So I was just like, okay.
Sonic.
We're done with that. Okay, so let's go to commercial, shall we? We'll end it with that.
Holy awkward moment, Batman.
There's going to be lots of those here on this show because we're pretty much two very inappropriate people that like to be inappropriate in very subtle ways.
Yeah, like seriously, we couldn't do an entire show just based on Ezio. Easily. Easily, I think.
I think, yeah, we could talk about his face, his look, his voice. Like, I could geek out about every single situation. And then the fact that he's Italian, oh, fucking forget it. Fucking throw it out the window. I'm dead.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God.
That's funny.
Oh, so funny. Okay, we're going to commercial, and we'll be back, so stick around, won't don't you? Alright, let's bring Scott in.
Okay.
Alright, this is gonna suck because that means your camera is gonna stop until I figure out what is going on. Until then, I don't know what to do. When did you stay? That was so much fun.
Boo, boo. Someone just commented not so subtle ways by screaming, Ezio, I want his kids. That was you. That wasn't me.
I can't help it. I just love him. I love him so much.
That's funny.
We have pretty funny fans, I have to say. They have great personalities. Let's bring Scott. Scott! You ready? Let's do this. Let's get nerdy. Where is Scott? Where is Scott? Scott. Patterson. I said Peterson. This is terrible. Terrible at names.
Now, is there... video feed's gone. Bye-bye, video feed.
Bye, video feed.
Bye, video feed.
Yes, I'm gonna,
Hear us
just pop
on
that
Twitch.
out.
They can't hear us on Twitch, right?
No, yeah, they can hear us.
Oh, so you guys can hear us right now?
They can hear us right now. I'm just bringing, Scott in right now, and we're gonna figure out your camera in a minute.
Okay.
I just don't know what the hell to do. I took it off completely just so it's not distracting for everybody, but everybody knows that it's you.
Okay, I'm still hanging out in the chat room.
Oh, yeah. Go say hi to everyone until Scott's in here. I don't know where he went. He might. Scott, where are you?
The video feed is a little delayed.
A little bit, yeah. That's Twitch for you.
Gotta love Twitch and Sky.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to figure all this out. It's our first go around with another camera and another person trying to come in, so I don't know, I might have to try some different software and stuff like that. Let me try to get him back in. I don't know what happened. Oh, not dial pad. Send contacts. Add people to this call.
Like, yep, we can hear you.
We're still here. We're just getting the second part of the show going, everybody. So hang 10.
So, Goku Gamer Guy, you're going to be doing Goku... Oh, you do Goku from DBZ. That's pretty cool. I like that. I definitely plan on doing a DBZ character soon. Can't say how soon, but soon. And Sean Horton, you plan on doing the Riddler one day and go around handing out Trivial Pursuit cards with the answers blacked out. That's funny. I like that.
Punisher, yeah, I don't know what was going on with my stream.
Density, you are my density.
Hello.
There you are, sir, kind sir. Okay, we are live. Are you ready to do this? Are you ready?
I'm always ready. Yeah.
Yes. We are gonna.
Ready.
Oh, it's already. Unfortunately, we are out one other camera. We'll figure that out next time for the next show. But we got your pretty face right next to mine. Actually, you're that way. And we get to do this. Ivy, do you want to count? Why don't you count? Wait, did you count me in on the first one? Yeah, huh?
I did.
Okay, so why don't you bring in Patrick Scott Patterson. I don't know why I said Peterson. My brain is just mush. But we
oddly a common mistake which I've never quite understood.
Peterson? Really?
Yeah.
People call you Peterson?
Quite a few people have done that one, and sometimes more than once, and I'm like, huh? But yeah, no worries.
Okay, well, we'll, what would you what would you like to be? Because some people have a certain way they want their name, and I'd rather get it right the first time once we get the show going.
Well, I mean, yeah, I use my full name, Patrick Scott Patterson, and I'm Scott to my friends, or PSP is fine.
PSP. All right, Ivy, it's all you. You decide.
Got it.
All right. Let me count you in.
All right.
All right, ready? In 5. Wait, that's not 5, that's 4. I don't know how to count. 5, 4, 3.
Hey guys, this is Ivy Doomkitty, and with us we have Patrick Scott Patterson. How you doing, Patrick?
Please call me Scott.
That giggle said everything.
Oh, Scott, how are you doing?
I'm always good. How about you?
I'm pretty good, hanging out here with the awesome baby pancakes.
And the awesome Ivy Doomkitty.
Dude.
Yeah.
Coming
Yeah,
through.
it's nice. This might be the first time that I've done a podcast, but I guess on a podcast where I didn't have the longest hair in the room, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, we're two little
I think I
feisty.
might be second though.
You really? I don't know. When I saw your hair was really long. I think it might be actually longer than mine if we straightened it.
Wow, that's impossible.
Oh, quite possibly.
No,
I've tried to do that before. It doesn't work.
What, straightening your hair?
Yeah. I've tried
Well,
that.
why didn't it work?
It just, I don't know, genetics.
Genetic. Dude, let me have my straightener handle your hair. I guarantee you I will get that thing, like, straight. It's gotta be hot. It's gotta be like 400 degrees plus.
See, I don't know these things.
Yeah, stick with us. We're girls. We'll make you look pretty and teach you things about video games. And then you can teach us about video games.
Please teach us all the things.
So, maybe you can give a little bit of a bio of yourself, because some people who are probably tuning in, if they don't know you, you've been living under a rock. But I got a chance to meet you for the very first time was it Boston?
No, it was L.A.
Was it LA? I feel like I met you in Boston, or maybe I really wanted to meet you in Boston and I couldn't find you. But physically, I met you for the first time. I was like in the middle of a shoot and I was like, oh my God, there he is. I was like, like I stopped what I was doing and I like ran up to you and you were so nice. And I was like, can we do a video, please? And you were like, yeah, sure. You were just getting to E3 on the floor, or were you just there?
No, I'd already been there. I had wandered down looking for someone else that had told me they were in that area, and I didn't see that person, and wandered by you, and well, then it went exactly like you just said. So, yeah, it was. And by the way, that was a first. So I don't think I've ever had someone interrupt the shoot before. Usually, if someone's doing a shoot and they see me in the background, they kind of give me that eye of like, "Go away, talk to me later."
Oh, no way. Well, it's my show. I do what I want. I was like, cut! Just started running, and I felt really silly, but I didn't know if I'd see you again. It's one of those things when you go to E3, you don't know if you're going to run into anybody ever again. So it's like that might be your one chance. But I think I saw you more than anybody on the E3 floor.
Well, I do tend to stick out, but you're right about E3. Every year there's people that, some of them are even pretty good friends, that I'm lucky if I come across them there one time. And just that's how big that event is, and everybody goes into their deep dark corners and their meeting rooms and their preview things and everything else. And it's sometimes it's the luck of the draw. It's not like you can get a cell phone signal in there and meet up with people.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think sometimes people say, like, let's meet up. Like, I get text messages like, let's meet up, let's hang out. And I want to. I just don't know how I'm going to get to you, because I'm on the other side of the show floor, and I'm either in the middle of the interview or a demo or a Q&A or something, or I'm fucking just trying to, like, go to the bathroom or something weird. Take pictures.
Well, that's the way it always works. Every time, if I get their text within a reasonable time, that is. Sometimes, the text doesn't come through right away, and it's 20 minutes have gone by. You know, and so yeah, they're always in the opposite hall, and usually it's right after I just got into the hall that I'm in. So it's just like, yeah, we'll just encounter each other later, eh? You know.
Yeah. Well, why don't you give us a little bit of a history of who you are and what you came, because you consider yourself a video game media personality.
That's the branding I use. Yes.
That's the branding you use, but would you also consider yourself a journalist, a gaming journalist?
No.
Okay. See, there's
No.
different categories for different things, and I always like to ask because you just never know. So, give us a little quick bio of like your life and, you know, in a nutshell, basically.
In a nutshell, well, that's not much room. But basically, you know, almost born and raised as a gamer, and that's spanning over 3 decades now. Video games were the first thing that I guess I really just fell head over heels in love with, and the first thing I was actually any good at as a kid too. And so, just over time, you know, it's, you know, you grow up and you lose interest in some things, or your interest in some things fade, and video games that just never happen.
Mm-hmm.
So over time, if we're going to put it in a nutshell, I learned a few things in some different walks of life, and found out that combined with I can combine those with all the stuff I've learned about gaming over the years, both as a gamer and by studying like the history of it all and all that, that I could actually turn that into something tangible. So I just kind of decided one day almost to be like, I want to kind of be this point person, this go-to guy for, you know, video game media, and you know, use myself as a vehicle to draw attention to the people and the positive stories and the positive history of gaming culture, the stuff you don't hear about on TV, but sadly, you know, should. So you know, just been busting my ass for a few years at that, and finally starting to move the needle, and start to get some opportunities to do exactly what I set out to do.
Yeah. Do you feel that in this time now, because you come from an old school mentality of video games and being kind of like one of the first, I mean, at least for me, I feel like my age says it all because I've been there since the beginning. I mean, not like the very beginning, but pretty freaking close.
Yeah, I
So,
know the feeling.
yeah, so I feel like I'm old school, but I'm like new school, but not. But like I'm still gonna hold on to my roots, and I'm very proud to be old school because I physically and mentally can see how far the industry has gone. And I can be proud to say that I do remember getting my NES and my Super NES and like my Sega and like all these different consoles that were just spawning, you know, and technology was growing, and then now we're here.
Well, and on top of that, I think that there's a lot of parallels. There's a lot of things that, you know, I'll hear, you know, especially on social media. I mean, sometimes gaming stuff, gamers are a little cynical, and some of the stuff though that they complain about, some of the stuff that it's always been that way, or or this has happened before, and it can kind of give you an idea what's going to happen with that, or you know, it's the overall history of it. You know, I mean, obviously people can't control when they were born or whatever. That'd be cool if you could, but you can't do that. So, but I think, you know, learning the history of it and kind of seeing the history of it unfold gives you a greater appreciation for what we have now and how things came about. So, yeah, I mean, I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to do that, and that's one of the things I try to encourage is for the younger generations, or even the people who maybe aren't of a younger generation but just now got interested in video games, to not just look in the here and now, but look in the past, and look at where we came from and the stories behind all that.
Yeah. Do you, I mean, I know going through, you live in Texas, right?
Yes.
And did you live there your whole life or?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Texas. Although if you know, if I have my way, eventually I will be located out west. I'm just
Ooh.
waiting for the right opportunity to, you know, make me justify the jump, I guess.
We definitely love to have you on this side.
Well, I think there's a lot more opportunities for what I aim to do out that way, but it's a lot cheaper to live here. And I'm, you know, being that I have 2 young kids, you know, it's not fair to them to do the, hey, let's go to LA and rough it until I get my foot in the door or something kind of thing with them. If it was just me, yeah, I'd already be there. But then that creates a whole other challenge to where it's like, if I was already out there, I think I'd already have more opportunities. So it's a vicious circle. But yeah, born and raised here, you know, and grew up around here.
Okay, so now that you're locally in Texas, you'd like to come to the West Side, which I definitely think you should. There's definitely a lot more opportunities, obviously, being out here in different events. But you also do kind of like a tour of America cons and events, right?
Yeah, I don't stay put for very long, especially in the summer months. In fact, this being, let me look at my calendar here, because I took a short vacation when I got back from E3, and I think, yeah, today marks the 8th day in a row that I've actually been home. It's the first time I can say that in several months. So, yeah, I get out and about as much as I can, and get brought out to different events to host panels and other things. And then, of course, you know, sometimes for something like an E3 or something like that, I'll make the jump out and go be a networking god for a few days.
Yeah, that's always fun. And what events did you get to go to this year?
Well, I had the honor of getting to speak at South by Southwest earlier this year.
Yes, congrats!
That was actually the first stop I got to do this year. I was out there with my awesome partner Rachel Laura, and
who is a total babe, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, and Captain Redbeard from GameStop TV, Chris Wiseman, who's become a good friend of mine as well. And we got to do South by Southwest, and then shortly after that I jumped to Oklahoma City for a first-year event called Super BitCon, which they did sensational. Like, I think they did 2.5 or 3 times their break-even point for attendance. So, you know, good for them. Definitely look forward to seeing them next year. And then, you know, stayed put for a little while. Did some stuff around here. Filmed briefly with a TV show. It has nothing to do with video games, but did it anyway. And then recently started pinballing all over the place for a little bit, and did Indie PopCon in Indianapolis, where
I heard that one was pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got to see what I could. For some reason, I agreed to do 7 panels while I was there.
Jeez.
I work hard for my money, I guess. But then I hopped out to, or came back here, but didn't come home. Went to ACON, which is a big anime convention in Dallas. I think they did something like 70-something thousand people this year.
Jeez.
And then it's become a big deal, and did a bunch of stuff there. And me and Rachel got to go up on the roof of the hotel and do a thing before a big crowd. And then it was E3, and then I came home for a bit. Here in a couple weeks, I'm doing a Screw Attack Gaming Convention.
Nice.
Kind of get back to it there, and doing a couple panels there. One on indie gaming, and then one where I sit with Thor Ackerland, and we kind of recall his time. The 1990 Nintendo World Championships. He was the eventual winner.
Wow.
Great stories to tell. So we're going to tell them there I'm sorry, they're not calling it the Screw Attack Gaming Convention this year. They're calling it SGC 2014.
Oh, come on.
I gotta speak to the brand here.
Isn't it funny how they're all just trying to abbreviate themselves because it's just like too much? It's like, let's just get shorter with our acronyms, because our fans and people can't handle, our Twitters can't handle that much characters.
That might be it. I don't know. I want to brand it right. It might. I don't know. I signed the thing with them. I might have to brand it right, and I didn't check the fine print, So, but but there it is. So we're gonna do our thing there and have some fun.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, so I know E3 was just a few weeks ago, and how do you feel that how this E3 went? Because when I interviewed you, the doors were just about to open, and we were just getting really excited because we just wanted to get. What did you see, and what did you feel after it was over?
Well, still, unfortunately, I have yet to go to an E3 where I actually get my hands on everything I want. Partially because I'm there to network with as many people as possible, because everybody's there. I mean, everybody, literally. Then the rest of the time I'm, you know, I don't do lines very well either, so I don't like to wait in lines. So the rest of the time I'm getting to what I can or finding somewhere to try to charge my phone. You know, I think everybody tries to do that. So, but I still, this pretty much the same thing, the same feeling that I had when I talked to you as the doors were opening. I feel like Nintendo kind of swooped in the back door and stole the show.
Yeah, very much of a dark horse attitude.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they intentionally held off on some things, you know, to launch this year since we're over the whole PS4, Xbox One launch hype, or if it just worked out that way. But I mean, they didn't have. I don't feel like they had a dud in their software lineup. In fact, they had some good surprises, and I'm kind of happy for them. You got to kind of root for Nintendo, right? You know, they've been around. They're the ones that have been with us this whole time, right? So I feel like they stole the show, and I think that that's a good thing. Very good.
Did you get to play any of the new Nintendo games?
Yes, actually, I was. I know a couple of little Oompa Loompas in the Nintendo factory, so I managed to get into the VIP area where I don't have to wait in line.
Yes, that's
And,
always nice. I got to be there too. This was my
Yeah.
first year in that little VIP section, so I felt like a goddess. Because usually the Nintendo, oh, actually the Nintendo lines aren't too bad if you're there, if you kind of just stick around. But this being in the VIP area, I was getting all these little like, they were giving away. I don't know if you got a chance to get some, but they were these little like plastic little tag-ons that you
Yeah,
can add.
They're actually right here on my desk.
Are they? Okay, I got a bunch of them, so that was like, I felt like baller leaving the area. I was like, oh my god, I got this plastic character. I was so happy. And even though I probably should have been more happy playing the games, I was just happy to get that little bit of swag. It just as a memento of that amazing moment, and I definitely feel like there was some standouts for Nintendo. So which ones were your standouts?
I actually got a pretty big crush on Splatoon.
Oh, yes! We
You
could be
know,
friends.
Well, I mean, at first I kind of look at it and I'm like, okay, well, it's a cartoony, colorful little game, you know, and so, you know, you don't know what to expect. And yeah, I didn't want to stop playing that. That was incredibly fun. And you know, it to me, it had kind of everything that was right back with, you know, when Nintendo was introducing new IPs all the time. You know, the NES, Super NES days.
Right,
Where,
right, right.
You know, everything was distinctive and colorful and easy to understand, but hard to master. And that game managed to nail that in a modern sense. And it, you know, it does. It looks like a goofy little cartoony game, but God, it was fun as hell.
But you know, it's so interesting. That's one of the games, a lot of the games at E3, some of the top games didn't even have any guns, didn't even have any that kind of war violence that we're used to seeing, you know, in our bigger games, like, you know, Rainbow Six or the Call of Duties or our Battlefields, which are all amazing games, which I always need to play anyway. But a lot of the great games didn't even have that. And Splatoon, to me, was one of the standouts. It was a simple concept that just was like, it was a reason to finally be like, I need a Wii U. I need a Wii U for this game and that game. I don't know about you, if you had a chance to play the new Zelda. Did you get to play that?
No, actually, I got cut short of that one because, of course, I'm about halfway through VIP when some people that I was shooting with for some other projects decided that's when they're going to show up at E3. So I had to cut my thing a little bit short. I did not get to touch Hyrule, but I got to look at it from afar a lot. I've heard good things, but unfortunately that is one I did not get my hands on. And you know, if I could do it over again, maybe I would have.
Yeah, that was actually a great hack and slack version of Zelda. I think they did I think that if this is where they're going to start and the progression from there can get better, it's like incredible what's going to happen. And there was only 2 characters you can play. You could only play Zelda or Link, and they had a bunch of like a whole row of new characters that you could play. And it was beautiful. I was so impressed by Nintendo. And I was also impressed by Mario Maker I don't know if you got a chance to look at that. Mario
Oh,
Maker, yeah, Mario Maker was like a kid's, like, imagine us telling us when we were kids that one day we could be there making a Mario level. Like, that's just mind-blowing.
Absolutely. I mean, that was, I mean, who didn't do that as a kid? You know, I mean, you know, there's, you know, you'd play that game to death and you'd start learning how to, you know, do some daredevil jumps and some trick things and this and that. And it was like, man, that'd be really cool if I could design a level to do this, or I could do that, or if a level had this. Well, now that, you know, yeah, that little kid in me saw that and was just like, oh my God. And yeah, I was coming up with some effed up stuff in that area. I had Hammer Brothers riding turtles around, stuff like that.
Yes. See, I didn't even get a chance to play that. I just saw people working with it. I couldn't take the time to build a little bit, which is a shame. But I definitely think now, you know, would you, as a media gamer personality, would you recommend a Wii U to the public now?
Yes. I mean, I actually, it's not that I wouldn't have recommended one before, though I understood the concerns, you know, so, you know, because it just kind of seemed like there wasn't much there, but, oh yeah, definitely. I mean, especially for a family. I mean, that's one thing where, you know, I walk, maybe a couple of different pairs of shoes compared to a lot of the other gaming media people that are out there, being I'm a little older and I've got the young ones. And so
how many young ones do you have?
We got two, ages 8 and 4.
Ah.
So, yeah, so I mean, you know, being able to have games that are family friendly, that are multiplayer as well, that's a big plus in this household. And of course, then we can go play, you know, the violent stuff the media will complain about when they go to bed or something. But, you know, different consoles or whatever. So yeah, I mean, the Wii U is you know, definitely got a lot of strong stuff coming now, and I think it's great. It looks like we might actually have a 3-console war, and that's
finally. Did
yeah,
you get to play the new Smash Brothers?
A little bit, yes. It was kind of culture shock to have a GameCube controller in my hand at an E3.
Weird, right?
But yeah, I mean, it felt like Smash Brothers, and of course, you know, I'm always partial to Pac-Man. That was my first video game ever.
Aww.
I know I'm dating myself a little bit, but if you look at most pictures, if you look at most pictures of me,
you mean all of them?
Yeah, well, I'm almost always wearing something with Pac-Man on it on me somewhere. Like if you notice my lanyard at E3, I brought my own. It has the Pac-Man lanyard. It's just because that was my first game. So Pac-Man being in there and you know, his levels and stuff like that, I think that's kind of a cute little thing. So kind of glad to see that.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. Even just some of the characters that they put up, like even just the yoga, like the fitness character. I mean, it's just like, it's nuts. I love that they just kind of went a little batshit crazy with it, and they're like, you know what? If people love it, they're gonna love it, and if not, oh well. We're just gonna keep going, and I like that. You know, don't give a fuck attitude, I guess, because they're doing their own thing. You know, they didn't have a traditional presser. They didn't have a traditional. They're not doing very traditional things, even though they're probably the most traditional company that is here in the mix. So there's just a lot of oxymorons going on.
Well, it's interesting, is I even have to somewhat change my tune on them a little bit, because last year I felt like them not doing a big presser the same year where Sony and Microsoft were bringing out their new artillery. I kind of felt like, you know, they kind of rolled over and died, you know, like they kind of let them have it. And then this year, you know, they didn't do the big presser again, but yet I just said right there, and I've been saying it publicly, I feel like they won this E3. And they kind of proved that maybe you don't need to do the big presser if you've got good enough stuff.
Right.
And I feel like they did. You know, I mean, as long as you got the goods, and maybe you don't need all that pomp and circumstance. But you know, so I have.
It's almost like, you don't need that extra fluff as long as your games and your delivery is there.
Yeah. I mean, you know, because I mean, it looked like I said, it looked like it worked. It's not like last year where not that it's not that they didn't have some good stuff last year. I thought Wonderful 101 was a good game. That just kind of you didn't hear anything about it. It just kind of came and went because no one. It just kind of got lost in the shuffle. But no, their stuff didn't get lost in the shuffle this year.
I mean, there was a lot of games that were standouts. I mean, and then there's just so many big titles that are coming out, and you know, we can just go down through a list. I don't know if you got a chance to play any of them. I mean, one of Ivy's favorite is Assassin's Creed. I know that.
Don't get me started.
Well, she was invited to be a guest at a party, so she was cosplaying one of the knights. And I actually
Irony.
she was, you know, and I didn't actually get to play it physically, but I did get to watch it like firsthand, like someone playing it. Just like close by, and I was like, okay, this is good. I'm glad there's a co-op finally, but why did it take so long? But maybe there was reasons to why they held off, and I'm sure there are. I think they've already released some statements because of that. But there was just a lot of indie games that I felt that were standouts at this E3. And exclusive games to certain publishers that I thought were pretty fascinating.
Alien Isolation was also on there as well, right?
Yes, that's a game through Sega, and that was an incredible. They actually had 2 stations for that. They had the area where you can play it on the Oculus, which I opted not to do. Not because I didn't want to. I've used the Oculus before, but I am such a scaredy cat that I literally did not want to embarrass myself with the Oculus being on camera playing that. I probably would have peed my pants. I almost did pee my pants already playing Aliens Isolation. And you can see my interview on my YouTube channel with one of the head people. And I was in there playing, screaming, high-pitched screaming, like in there. I was terrified. It's one of those heart-pounding games. It's not like, you know, a shooter where you get like all these guns. It's basically a game where your one thing to do is survive, and there's one alien, and it's trying to get you. And the sounds and the visuals are just beautiful, beautiful. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, there's just so many games. I mean, we have that. We have, you know, Destiny coming out. We have Rainbow Six. We have the new Borderlands, the pre-sequel. We have Evolve. We have Witcher 3 coming out next year. We have Fantasia. Jesus. We have the Valiant Hearts that's coming out. Ori. New Halo. God, I don't even know where to start. Like, I just feel like my brain's gonna, you know, explode because there's a lot to cover. And then, I don't know, I think I might have missed a lot of them, and I'm sorry if I did. But those were just pretty much my, you know, my stuff that I remember vaguely.
Yeah, well, Destiny, of course, is, you know, I had a little crush on Destiny last year, and actually, it's funny. I actually joked coming out of last year's E3 that, you know, I think it's one of the best looking games of this E3, and probably will be next E3. And I was exactly right. There we go again. It's still there. It still hasn't come out. I've had the freaking shirt for a year. But you know, I mean, you get to, of course, see more of it this year, and we were allowed to touch it this year, as opposed to just watch those weird, like, smarmy people that they hired to do it last year do it. But yeah, I think that Destiny is gonna. I think it's gonna do well. Hell, it has to do well.
Did you play the? Did you play the beta?
Not so much. It's one of those things that I plan to spend a lot more time on than I actually had to spend time on it.
Okay.
But you know, that tends to be a habit with betas within me anyway. But you know, just you know, I like what I see, and I think the public's gonna like what it sees. I just kind of hope that it doesn't get overshadowed, given you know, Activision. You know, obviously they're gonna still push their golden tickets. So they're going to push their Call of Duties and their Skylanders out there. Hopefully Destiny doesn't get, kind of lost as a third wheel, because it's got a lot of stuff that is going to be fresh to, I think, the more mainstream console gamers, with while still being a familiar thing. And of course I can't wait to get on there with my friends. So
Oh yeah, no, they really. I don't know if you even had a chance to take a picture at E3 on the little pod, that little flying pod that they had on the floor. I did it as like the last thing right before I left the E3 floor, but I remember just thinking to myself, this is a lot of media. Well, not even. I almost want to say propaganda, but it's not propaganda. It's just a lot of advertisement. And they're eating away at my soul because I want to play it. And finally, I get to play it. I get to build my character, and I get to explore. And I just want more. I want more. And they cut off the beta. Just gave us a weekend, and they're like, pre-order it, and you'll have it for July. And July is around the corner. So I'm telling people now, if you're asking me to pre-order your Destiny, I'm saying yes. Do it. You're going to want to play the beta. You're going to want to build your character. You're going to want to learn how to use these guns, these classes. And you're going to want to learn how to play with your team. That's how you're going to be very successful. It's a lot of fun when you are playing with a group. Like it always is, So
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's a game that is clearly going to be, it's clearly designed to be that way. Which, I mean, that's there's few things in video gaming, I think, that are, more fun than getting into a game with your team and actually working together as a team. And that game is going to be you're going to be able to do it in that one in such an immersive way, I think. And,
dinosaurs. I did. Someone's asking us if we got to play No Man's Sky. I got to see it. I didn't get to play it. It looked interesting. All these games like Cuphead and all these,
yes.
like
what a
1940s like caricature art playing.
Why has no one thought about that as an art style?
That person, whoever you are who designed it, I want to buy you dinner and I want to buy you drinks and we need to go out on a date. Just so we know. Because that was, when it came out, everyone's jaws dropped. And it was such a simple thing, and I loved it. I loved how we're kind of thinking outside the box in terms of gaming. And that not everything has to be just so elaborate. Like simplify everything for a second,
That's one of those things. It is. It's like looking at that going, why has no one thought of that before? We've had the capabilities to do that for a while, and I'm sure they had to put a lot of work in there to kind of get the lighting and the kind of the timing of the frames right. But yeah, I mean, that's one of those games. It's going to be awesome just to play it on the art style alone, much less the fact that it actually looks like it's going to be challenging as well. So yeah, that's the thing. I'm excited about that one. Every time I hear about it, just like you caught me there.
Yes. Ori in the Blind Forest. I did get to demo that game. That game was quite heartfelt from just the beginning of the intro. If you guys remember the trailer, when Ori went up to his mother and kind of like nudged her to wake up, it was just the whole thing. I feel like this is the year where gaming wants to pull on your heartstrings. We got Valiant Hearts. They got a goddamn dog in it that literally just melts you to pieces. It melts you into a puddle of goo. And then you have Ori, lovable character that is just, it's almost like I want to say a child of light on steroids. I didn't want to say that to them, but when I first kind of looked at it, I was like, ooh, child of light. But then as I started playing it, I was like, this is nothing like child of light. And this is something different and new, and it's going to be successful.
I'm glad, though, to see you kind of touched on something I think that's a pretty good point is, the developers and designers and all that now, they're finally starting to realize that even though these are video games and I guess video games carry a certain stigma, not just in the mainstream media and stuff like that, but maybe even within its own industry. That we got the capability, the technology now that you can tell any kind of story you want. It doesn't always have to be some big action adventure, swashbuckling big hero type of thing. You can tug at the heartstrings. You can use emotions. You can have humor. You can have any type of story you can have in a TV show or a film or even a well-written song. I mean, you can do all of that. We've been able to do all of that for a long time. So let's open it up. Let's do that. Let's give the gamers some variety. Maybe someday you'll have people that are fans of certain types of games that fit in the genres based on storytelling alone, and rather than just a play style like you do with film.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like there's also a lot of co-op games that are, just being kind of in thought in gaming. Just the fact that like with the new Borderlands, the pre-sequel, we got Evolve, that, you can actually play with your 4-man crew and, take down a monster. Your friend can be the monster. There's just, I feel like even with the new Assassin's Creed, there just seems like a lot of participation games, along with games that might not be the most fanciest and might not have the biggest price tag, but still give you, the experience, and well worth your time.
Well, yeah, there's room now, for games that are of all kinds of production budgets and retail prices, and you don't have to, it doesn't have to be a AAA title to be, a nice solid game. Just no more than a good movie has to be a big summer blockbuster. I mean, it's all what they do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the industry is finally maturing to a point where both the industry and the consumers realize that. That's a good thing. I like it.
You like it a lot.
Yes, I do.
So, Ivy, what other games did you see that were like kind of standouts for you?
You mean E3 related?
Yeah, well, any related. I mean, we got E3, we got games coming out here in the next month or two. Anything on your radar?
Honestly, definitely Aliens Isolation, AC Unity for sure. Wow, just off the top of my head. I did read that there were rumors that there was going to be another Metroid coming out. So that would be awesome if those rumors were true.
We all want that to be true.
Oh, please. Oh, and of course, the ever elusive Half-Life 3, if that ever happens, that would be freaking amazing.
Wouldn't it be crazy if they just announce it like on a weird like day, like on a random?
I would die. I would absolutely lose it. Be like, oh my god, it's finally happening, yes.
I think Twitter would explode.
I think so. Absolutely.
Hashtag Half-Life 3 is here would be monumental. Soon.
Yeah, it's not on April Fool's Day. That would just, not cool.
I don't believe anything that happens in April because I just feel like it's just an April Fool's joke. Whether it's the 1st or the 20th, I don't care. I don't believe it. Don't tell me anything in April because I won't believe you.
You're like, I will not be an April Fool, thank you.
No, I will not. But I know Scott, you're going to be at some events here coming up shortly, so your mini vacay is coming to an end.
Well, it hasn't even a vacay. Like, I'm just now getting within sight, I think, of catching up on email. Getting some other things going, and I got another event opportunity that's come up that I'm trying to get closed, and that sort of thing. So, unfortunately, it hasn't been a vacay. But I say unfortunately, but you know what? I'm digging this. A few years ago, I'd have a lot of days where, halfway through the day, I kind of ran out of things to do, and now I'm almost too busy, but I'm busy doing what I love to do and what I want to do, and juggling opportunities and stuff around. So, I haven't really got to take that vacation kind of thing yet, but I did manage to sneak a few days off in there, so that's a good thing. But I'm about to get right back on it. So.
Where's your next event that you're heading towards?
That's SGC in Dallas.
Okay.
That's the one at Screw Attack, and that is July 11th through 13th, I believe. And then the week right after that, up earlier this year, is QuakeCon.
What is QuakeCon? I feel like I keep hearing that in my radar, and I'm like, I need to go. And VidCon is this weekend. I don't know if anyone has ever been to VidCon before, but that's this weekend.
Well, QuakeCon's been going on forever, as the name should indicate.
QuakeCon.
It's not, the biggest event, out there or what have you, but I mean, people do come in, and the bring your own rig area is just, you see some amazing stuff in there, and it's a good place to hang out. I'm actually a big fan of the venue. It's at the Hilton Anatole Dallas, which is the same place that ACON is held. They got one hell of a bar in there.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of bar, what would you order?
Well, this is actually a bar that's got like really good upscale food, like a bazillion beers and all that sort of stuff. So, that last year it just turned into like one big networking party at the bar. But it started. It started with me and Redbeard going there, and people followed the two of us. It was actually the first time we met in person. So they followed the two of us over there, and then it just kind of turned into a big episode of Cheers in there. Without a mailman, unfortunately. But so it's a long-running event. It's right here in Dallas. So I mean, that's always good too. It's fun to travel, and sometimes it's fun to just go to something down the road.
Yeah, no. I think, I mean, those events, they're like so close. They're almost here. And do your fans kind of, when they come up to you, are they like nervous when they come up to you? Or are they like really excited?
It's all over the place. Kind of what Doomkitty touched on earlier. There's sometimes the people that they'll tweet me like 2 or 3 days after an event and go like, I saw you, and it's like, okay. Well, I mean, that's great. You can see a picture of me online too. I want people to come up to me. That's the fun of these events. I mean, social media is cool and all, man. Clearly, I use it heavily and like to interact with people on there. But meeting people in person, that's where it's at. And
definitely.
Absolutely. There's nothing quite like just that, having that one-on-one experience with someone, And unfortunately, like, I don't know, at least from my experience, people are either too afraid or intimidated, or they feel like they may say the wrong thing, kind of a thing. But, from just talking to you on here, you're very easygoing, very relaxed, and, very comfortable to speak with. So for anyone out there that hasn't gotten up to Scott at a show, definitely walk up to him and, chat with him. He's really cool.
Well, I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. But there's also the people, though, that are on the complete flip side, too. Like, the ones that will come up to you no matter what you're doing. So yeah, I mean, so I'll put an asterisk on what you said. Y'all see me in an event, whether I'm in a panel or I'm going in between things or whatever. Yes, come up, say hi, I'll shake hands and fist bumps and high fives all day long. You could even touch my hair if you want to. But once in a while, for some reason, somebody wants to strike up a conversation at, let's say, the urinal. Or if I'm...
Has that ever happened before?
Yeah, it has.
Oh my God, tell us.
Or if I'm lugging my suitcase either to the room or from the room to my car, I don't like carrying all that. Maybe catch me in a different time or say hi from afar. Or, but yeah, so... there's some things, but definitely, yeah, I like people. I like talking, clearly. So yeah, come up in an event if other times. But yes, what you just asked, yes, that has happened, unfortunately.
In the urinal. What about, have you ever had a freaky situation happen, like where you kind of felt uncomfortable? Because usually we hear the girls talk about being uncomfortable, but I'm sure the guys have had weird moments. I mean...
Weird moments.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've never, of course, received the type of, inappropriate treatment that unfortunately some women are given at events by some pathetic excuses for guys out there who, think that's right or funny. But I have had weird people, creepy people. I had a guy one time. He might be the nicest guy in the world. In case it gets back, I'm not trying to speak ill of this guy, but me and Rachel had finished a panel,
Okay.
and this guy had sat kind of in the back of the room, kind of looking upset the whole time we were doing the panel. He tried to speak a few times. We actually just quit calling on him because he was saying things that were kind of odd, and then he wanted to show us, like, stepping in front of us, stopping us from walking any further, kind of wanting us to see his sketchbook, which was a bunch of sketches of like demonized fast food mascots, like murdering each other.
Oh, what the hell?
And I mean, he really wanted us to look at all of them, and like if we tried to take a step, he stepped in front of us, and it was just kind of like, I mean, he kind of. You ever see that movie, Wedding Crashers?
Yes.
There's the young, kind of creepy kid, in
Yes.
there. This
Yeah.
is what this guy looked like.
That's
so,
why everyone needs an air horn. I think just bring the air horn with you, and so anytime someone gets creepy, they will know who that person is. I'm gonna bring one.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm sure Jack in the Box deserved that. Okay, hey, look, we got somewhere to go. Thank you. And then of course every so often too, I get the people who, because I've interacted with them on Twitter in the past, they think they know me well enough to come up and not give an introduction, even though maybe I've never met them before. They're like, hey, what's up? Hey, it's me. It's like, and I don't know if I'm being a jerk and forgetting who this person is or whatever, and I had someone get mad at me one time for not recognizing him. I went back later and looked, and his Twitter just has a picture of like a cartoon character or something. So how the hell was I supposed to know it was him? But
Oh my god, it's hilarious.
that one is a little weird.
I know. I mean, like, cosplayers go through things. I've had a few. I don't know. I'm just weird. So when people come up to me, I'm just like, hug me. Here, I'm here. I don't know what you want, but I'm usually, my favorite is when I do meet someone in person, and then I try to connect that person to who that is socially, and I'm like, oh, you're that person, and it's kind of exciting because it's like finally there's a face to who that is. But I know Ivy's gone through some interesting scenarios.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And I think it just comes with the exposure, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just, yeah, it just, stuff happens sometimes. It's, how would I,
Do you just feel like it just does happen because, you're exposing yourself to a bunch of personalities, some more social than others?
Well, yeah, you do get your, some people that are very much antisocial or nervous, so they may not know how to approach you. But then, for me at least, I try to get them as comfortable as possible. I ask them a bunch of questions and kind of ease them into a conversation, and they tend to open up after that. Then you have, other people that are very talkative, and that works out great. And then sometimes, like you were just saying, sometimes you have trouble linking up, who it is you're talking to versus, their tag or, what is it called? Their tag or
their social profile handle.
Yeah.
Line.
Well, and then you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Well, then too. I mean, that's one thing about when you put yourself out there in the public eye, especially if you start getting some exposure, that sometimes happens. Is sometimes people, whether it's real or imagined, they start to think that they already know you, and You know, maybe it's because they're following what you're doing, but you don't really know what they're doing. You don't know what they're all about. They already, at least they think or know they feel what you're all about, or know what you're all about, or what have you. And sometimes they even cast judgment. So I mean, it's just one of those things about being out there where you're, you really are exposed when you get exposure in something. Exposed in that it's kind of a sensitive area to be out in. You're kind of vulnerable. That applies, to I think anybody that's in the public eye in any way. And so but that's where too. Sometimes you gotta make a fast judgment. You gotta learn to sometimes be able to judge character quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And see if it's going to be somebody that is the type that they want to come up and say a bunch of stuff about you that they think they know because they read the internet, or are they legitimately interested in what you do and want to strike up a conversation with you as a person.
That makes sense. So now that we've kind of wrapped around like cons and E3 and people, Ivy and I want to do a questionnaire with you. And
Okay.
this questionnaire is basically, you only get between 1 to 5 seconds to answer it. Some might take a little longer, and we'll be okay with it. We might say move along. And if that means move along, that means no more.
Okay.
I know. Well, because sometimes you want to elaborate, and we won't let you.
And I am the king of elaboration. So yeah, I'll do my best.
We will try to cut you in the sweetest, nicest way.
Well, that's
cut you. We'll cut you.
You don't mean cut me that way.
I'm not gonna cut you, but not like in the hood. I'm gonna cut you. I'm just gonna cut you. Like, all right, we've had enough. We're going to the next question. I don't know, Ivy. Do you want to start off number 1, and then you do odd, I do even, or do you want me to do even or odd?
I'll take the odd one.
Okay, that means you go first. These are 20 questions. We got 20 questions for you, and this is it. Then we are done. So
for the first one, I know we touched on this earlier, but what is your favorite game at the moment?
Favorite game at the moment is whatever game happens to be in the console when I have a few free minutes.
And what is that?
That varies because depending on what my family might have had in there, because I haven't had a whole lot of spare time lately. So I'll play whatever I can pick up and play.
Okay, we'll let you slide on that one. What one toy would you like to throw repeatedly at a brick wall?
The original Optimus Prime, so we can make him look like he did in the 1986 animated movie.
Oh my god.
What is your favorite potato chip flavor?
Barbecue.
Ooh.
I'm in Texas. I'm from Texas. It's gotta be barbecue.
Oh my god, you Texans and your barbecue.
Yeah.
What is your one thing you refuse to share?
My beer.
Ooh, what kind?
Cold.
I like that answer.
I'm big into the seasonal brews, especially during the summer if they have like a citrusy thing or whatever. But to me, if I toss someone a beer or buy someone a beer, then that means they're really in my good graces.
Good to know.
Okay. And what is your favorite superhero and why?
I'll have it might sound like boilerplate, but I'm gonna have to say Batman, just because he didn't get bit by anything or come from another planet or fall into anything radioactive. He just had a lot of money and got really good at everything.
I have to agree with you there because he's my favorite.
Batman!
So, now I will give a runner-up to Iron Man just because I love Tony Snark. Tony Snark. Yeah,
Snark. Tony Snark.
I love Tony Stark's attitude.
Well, that works though, because that's Marvel's Iron Man is DC's Batman.
Yes.
They're both, well, different universes, but more or less same character in a sense that, you know, they're both billionaire playboys and have awesome gadgets that they tool around with.
But though neither of them can figure out a suit that's made of sensible materials.
Exactly.
And what is up with his, like, mommy-daddy issues? Like, it's really deep.
Oh, well, I mean, Batman's just a product of everything that he went through as a child, you know?
And
I
tell me
feel-
that is not more human than any character that is human/superhero.
He is legitimately messed up.
That's what I like about him. He's just as messed up as the guys and gals that he's fighting against. I think that's cool.
Exactly. I agree with you.
I like that answer. What is your favorite movie line or scene?
Well, you know, usually there's one from Die Hard that I'll throw out there, but I've kind of swung back to Ghostbusters.
Ooh, which one?
Well, I think even the smallest part, I think Winston had the two most profound lines in the entire movie. One of them is, if someone asks if you're a god, you say yes.
Yes, yes! Oh my God, yes!
And the other one is one that I want to make sure the gaming industry understands. If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say.
That's amazing.
And what is your favorite gamer snack?
I don't really do the gamer snacks per se. You know, I mean, I guess I'm the guy that found Gamer Grub messy, you know, so usually I just grab like a bag of chips, if, you know, or whatever, barbecue potato chips perhaps, like, you know, just eat those and chew into the headset if somebody's being a douche.
Nom 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 nom.
Come on.
You know, right in their ear.
Nice. What is the one thing you've always wanted as a kid but never got?
Wow. So that's a hard one because, you know, most of the stuff I wanted as a kid never got. When I grew up, I bought and have, but I guess I'll go with one that for some reason I've never bought it as an adult, even though I think it's cool every time, and say the Snoopy Snow Cone Maker.
What? Not the answer I thought that was gonna come out. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Well, I would want to say something like an original Pac-Man arcade game, but when I grew up, I bought one of those. You know, stuff like that. So, you know, and so, you know, yeah, I never got that as a kid because I guess my parents thought I'd make a mess, and as an adult, for some reason, I've never justified buying myself one. And now I think I want. Now I have to.
What was your?
Yeah. Now I have to. Damn it.
I have to do it. Get everything now. And what was your favorite cartoon growing up?
The original Transformers before they killed off all the cool ones and made their leader into some like flame-colored Winnebago guy. So. Still better than Michael Bay's stuff though.
Oh yes, absolutely. I agree with that.
I mean, the new one's got Optimus Prime like riding Grimlock around. It's like, dude, that ain't Yoshi. It's Grimlock. You know, get off him.
He really wants it to be Yoshi, though.
Yeah, Grimlock would never tolerate that, you know? So.
Yeah, well, that's coming up here soon. I don't know if anyone is going to be watching it. I don't know. I don't have anyone to watch movies with, so I might probably be by myself, the weird chick eating popcorn in the middle of the theater by herself.
Is that we're pretty close to each other, right? We could totally make this happen.
We should make it happen. All right, next question. Favorite event or con thus far?
Like ever?
This year.
This year? As much fun as I had at E3, I've got to have to say Akon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, we got to do a wonderful thing for Hector Montoya, that 9-year-old that uses PlayStation 4 money to buy smoke detectors instead for his needy neighbors. We got to do a thing with that, with a local TV personality and some press doing there, and we got to do some cool panels. But ultimately, because me and Rachel got to judge the Guinness cosplay attempt, which we didn't get, but we got to judge it from the roof of the hotel. And when we got up there, everybody was cheering for us. And I did the yes chant, the Daniel Bryan yes chant from the roof, and everyone went along with it. And
Aww.
it was like an epic. It was unexpected, first of all. Because we're going to go up on the roof, no one's going to see us. Oh, no, they all saw us. It was an epic freaking moment in my life. And
Aww.
do
you feel like that was a moment in your career where you just were like, this is what I wanted, this is what I've been wanting to do?
It was an epic thing. And, then, if you go look at my Facebook right now, actually, that's like the main, it's not the profile picture, but it's like the background thing.
Uh-huh. Like your banner?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just because, that was a mind-blowing moment, especially since as we're climbing up there, we're like, we're kind of go through this weird like maze to get up on the roof of the hotel or whatever. And as soon as we emerged, then like hundreds of people start cheering and screaming and going along with anything we did. It was just, it felt like freaking rock stars up there. It's awesome.
Aww.
What platform do you play on the most?
Xbox One. Partially because that is where all of my entertainment stuff actually is from. I actually use it the way they design the damn thing. Like, I use it for everything. So
you have your TV and everything interlinked with everything, so you voice command the shit out of your Xbox One.
Absolutely. Although, I did hook up my NES the other day and had some fun kind of going through. I hadn't played it in a little while, so. But Xbox One, at present day, by far gets the most use.
Nice. Okay, so this one's totally different off topic. Favorite top 3 bands of all time?
Of all time?
Well, top 3. I gave you 3. I was going to give you 1, but I was like, I can't do that. I'm going to give him 3.
Well, see, that's the thing, man. My musical tastes range literally all over the place. So it's like, it's hard to know that. I mean, like, I don't have a type of music. But I would have to say Nirvana's in there.
Okay.
I'll go even a little bit more of my time, and I won't say band per se, but I was Jimi Hendrix. I still love anything Hendrix did. And let's see, I'll stick with the band thing for a third one. That's tough, though. It really is. It really is, man.
We're giving it to you. We're giving these questions.
I'll just say, even though I got tired of them a long time ago, I used to really be into Metallica. I've just kind of got burned out on them because Dallas radio seems to think that they need to play it every other song. But, once upon a time, I was really into about anything they did.
Nice.
Now, what movie deserves a sequel?
That's hard to say. Haven't they made sequels of every freaking movie now? Like, they make like 20, 20 movies. If they don't, they make a remake. I don't know. Let's think. Oh, hell, I'll just go really out the left field. It'd be fun to see they actually had greenlit a sequel a few years ago to Forrest Gump. He was gonna go through the 80s and 90s, and I don't know anything ever came of it. But you know what? I would watch that movie.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's like the best answer ever. Okay, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Weirdest thing I've ever eaten. I don't know. I'm the guy that always orders the same damn thing at the restaurant every single time I go. So, well, I did try ostrich once.
That stuff's actually pretty good.
Actually, it was, although I kind of laughed because it didn't taste too much different from, much cheaper meats. But I did, it was there and, tried it and it wasn't bad.
That's a good answer. I mean, I don't know. Ivy, have you ever had anything? I know you're the foodie, so I'm going to ask you.
What's the strangest thing I've ever had?
Yeah.
Oh, good question. I've had escargot, frog legs, foie gras, ostrich, elk, rattlesnake, bison, boar.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm very.
She ate Jesus.
food.
She wins.
Yes, you win,
I
Ivy.
will be there next.
Next question, Jesus.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars. Not that Star Trek's without its charms, but yeah, Star Wars.
Star Wars 5 and 6 or 1, 2, and 3?
Oh no, I gotta go with the original trilogy. Yeah,
Oh.
so they don't have snot-nosed little kids in them.
Aww.
I'm sorry, I didn't need to see Boba Fett as a bad acting little child.
Well, I need to see Jar Jar Binks.
Oh,
Well,
hell no.
that's true.
The fact that you just brought him up, I just want to die. So, moving on.
Well then too with the 1, 2, and 3, I thought 3 was pretty good. Although the last few minutes of the movie always make me laugh because it's like they looked at their watches and went, "Hey, we're running out of time. Let's wrap up every loose end possible really quick now. What do we name the kids? Okay, oh look, she's dead. Okay, who gets the kids? Who goes where? All right, we done. All right, cool. Let's go." Yeah.
Damn. Well,
They did. Watch it.
I know, but you know, some people like the new stuff. I kind of like it all. So that are you saying that this new one that's gonna come out is gonna be, it's not gonna be well made because of those circumstances?
Can't say that. I mean, one thing that this one will have, hopefully, if he can watch his step, is Han Solo, and that's something the prequels didn't have, and something I think was very much missing. I think that was too important of a character to not have around. Which I understand. If he had been around the prequels, he would have been an annoying little kid. So, but point being is that that's just not, you know, that character archetype was greatly missed, and instead we got to talk about midichlorians and senators.
Right. Next question: favorite beer or cocktail?
I'm a beer guy. It's pretty much. I very rarely will do mixed drinks. Don't really do shots that much anymore or whatever. Usually if hit a bar, I will, if it's not a place, if I hit a bar in a town that's got good local microbrews, I'll always hit those first. So
Yes, local beer.
if it's a place that doesn't, usually I'll try to do it like a Sam Adams seasonal brew, or sometimes like a Shiner seasonal. I'm really into, like, when I do get a major brand, I usually like to get their limited release stuff, because I don't know, you can only drink it. It's a limited release. I mean, duh. You know, you can only drink it for so many months in the year. So.
Makes perfect sense.
That makes sense.
So right now, or lately, I've been going down. I actually live like 3 blocks from like a huge beer store that carries a ton of microbrews and limiteds. And there's the Sam Adams limited one that's actually pretty hard to find called Porch Rocker. And it's very citrusy and like lemony. And I've been practically guzzling that stuff since I've been home.
What's the percentage on that?
Yeah, I think it's 5 point something. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not weak. It's
decent.
not strong.
Yeah. It's more flavor. Flavor.
Yeah, it does. It's got a real, you taste the citrus and all that in it, but it's not overpowering. It's not like a hard lemonade or anything like that. So.
Interesting.
What is your ultimate vacation destination?
I don't know. I want like all kinds of ideas that come to mind, that places I've already been but actually had no time to actually do anything in. And of course, I went to Hawaii, but I went there as a kid. I'd love to go back someday as an adult, where I can do what I want to do when I want to do it and see all that stuff on my own terms.
I like that.
I like that a lot. I'm actually 86ing the question. I was going to ask you, what is your favorite thing about E3 this year? But we actually covered that. So there's a question on the chat that I'm going to take instead. Aliens or Predators?
Aliens. You know, yeah, I mean, you know, the Predators are cool. The fact that they could, you know, kind of like conceal themselves and all that sort of thing. But, you know, Arnold was right about how they look, you know, and I mean, the aliens, man, I mean, they get like the ultimate revenge. If you do blow one up, then they spew acid all over you, so you suffer either way.
I have to agree with him.
I love that. I love that answer so much.
Dogs?
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, it's kind of like, you know, a few Call of Duty's back. You know, I was always that jerk that put on the martyrdom perk, just because if somebody did come up and kill me, I love the fact that I'd drop a grenade at their feet and kill them too. You know, it's kind of like, hey, you got me, but I took you out. But that's what the aliens can do.
Oh my god, people hated that perk so much.
Which is why I loved it, because I'm a run and gun guy. So, you know, if they manage to get me, usually I drop a little surprise at their feet. It's really fun in groups, by the way.
Geeker forever.
Yeah.
Geeker forever.
Yep, I'd run, you know, they'd all camp together, and I'd go in there, and I'd get one, and another one would get me, but then the grenade would drop at their feet, and then it was fun to watch the replay, and then see them all scramble. They're like, oh, shit. You know, it was great.
Now, dogs or cats?
That's tough. I have one of each, but I guess I've always been more of a dog guy because, you know, I can take him for a walk or whatever I can. If I ask the cat to do that, you know, she's not going to go along with that.
You could actually walk a cat.
Not this one.
Uh-oh.
Hell no. You know, when she is feeling affectionate, she might come. That means she comes within 1.5 feet.
Uh-oh.
What's your cat's name?
Her name is Whitney.
Whitney.
Yeah, we asked when we got her. She was a rescue cat, and when we got her, I asked my oldest, and he went with the last name he had heard, which was a commercial for short-lived NBC sitcom Whitney on the TV. So we asked, what do you want to name her? And he went, Whitney. And like, you just saw the commercial. He's like, well, you said I could name her. That's what I want to name her. So it's like, okay.
Cute. All right, so this is the final question.
Is there a drum roll or a 20th Century Fox intro music?
Oh, no, dude. We're too lazy here. Maybe...
You had an air horn earlier. So
I did, but that was just a special thing. Maybe I have a toilet or a UFO. What do you want?
Well, I was going to say toilet until I heard it was a UFO. I got to hear UFO.
All right, you can get the UFO. All right, one word that describes you. One word.
Tall.
Tall? Really? It's too easy.
Well, you just gave me one, you know, I mean, so...
I'm just
How
giving...
about charismatic?
I'm just giving you the toilet.
Well, I'll take charismatic. That's what I try to come off as charismatic. And since it's almost midnight my time, it's actually a real compliment. Normally I'm a little usually I'm in bed by now, showing my age.
Aw, well, we won't keep you any longer. Where can people find you?
Well, seemingly all over the place, but the central hubs, of course, my website, which is patrickscottpatterson.com, and it's been updated recently with all of my recent adventures, and has links to all my social media and YouTube and everything else. And then, of course, the social media network I use most often is Twitter, where you can follow me, and you should, at OriginalPSP.
Awesome. And Ivy, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, all under Ivy Doomkitty. Where can we find you, Pancakes?
You can find me at www.pancakepow.com, and that's where you can find all the social stuff, like the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram. There's a email, there's a phone number, you can call us, you can leave us a voicemail, we'll play it, maybe play it on the air. Just let us know if you have any questions next time we have a guest around, or if you have any questions now, you know, we can try to see if we can implement them next time into the show. So we are so glad that you tuned in tonight with us. I am Baby Pancakes.
This is Ivy Doomkitty.
And...
Oh, and I'm Patrick Scott Patterson, and I'm still here.
And thanks for tuning in to another episode of Gamer Girls Gone Wild podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me out.
Hey, anytime, anytime.
Woo!
Woo! Come around anytime you want, man.
Cool.
Cool. All right, guys, we love you. Thank you, and take care.
Have a good night.